A woman accidentally loses her leg, but the disaster blesses her and turns her into a god of war. Even in the zombie-infested apocalypse, she can still kill and be invincible. With such a woman as a girlfriend, safe feeling full, this is the most alternative zombie movie I've ever seen, and its gore level directly crushes other restricted films. It is the 2007 release in Quentin's violent aesthetic combination of zombie films Planet Terror. The story begins with a biochemical experiment base. The accidental leakage of biochemical gas from the lab causes the soldiers who inhaled the gas to mutate and infect the nearby town's residents. Meanwhile, a woman's car breaks down in the middle of the road. When she asks for help from a passing car, a zombie suddenly pounces on her. The poor woman was eaten by the zombie on the spot, and the parts that were not eaten were also taken away by the zombie. Due to the low light, the cars passing by only saw a blurred black shadow. They mistook it for a beast carrying away a small animal that had been hit and killed, so they didn't take it to heart. Unexpectedly, a zombie appeared in the middle of the road the next second. Ray did not react and thought it was a person. To avoid it, he jerked the direction, and the truck accidentally overturned. Luckily, they were not seriously hurt, but danger followed. Before they could recover from the crash, Cherry, on the passenger side, was dragged up by the attacking zombies. Ray immediately unbuckled his seatbelt, grabbed his weapon, and went after them. He saw several ugly-looking people eating Cherry. Ray saw the situation and decided to shoot, and the zombies were directly scared away. Fortunately, Cherry survived. Unfortunately, her right leg was taken away by the zombies. Soon after, Ray took her to the hospital, but with the virus's rapid spread, the hospital was already overcrowded. As soon as Ray told the doctor what had happened, he was approached by several police officers. Although he tried to explain that he had nothing to do with the incident and that some strange-looking people had removed Cherry's thighs, the sheriff was not convinced unless he could find the killer and the missing thighs. The sheriff finished and handcuffed Ray, but just as they returned to the station, the sheriff received a call from the sheriff's brother, JT, who owns a barbecue restaurant. He said that two perverts had been staring at him, neither coming in to order nor turning around to leave. Has been standing there for more than an hour. Unexpectedly, in between their conversation, two zombies arrived at the door. JT had to hang up the phone to greet the guests.
You gonna look? Or you gonna eat?
In the meantime, more patients were brought into the hospital. The doctor looked at these patients, scared, directly bit off the thermometer. Meanwhile, the zombie virus had spread to the police station. A mutant prisoner bites off a police officer's finger, but when the sergeant came out to check, he found that the culprit had already broken the car window to escape. When several people were confused, a zombie suddenly appeared and attacked a police officer. Then, more zombies kept coming from all directions. They are not only bloodthirsty but also use fighting skills. Although the officers fought hard and killed many, they were also killed or injured. Under the attack of zombies, the entire police station has fallen. Ray tried to take advantage of the chaos to leave but was caught by the sheriff on the spot. But what he saw before him made him believe what Ray said before. Knowing that Ray was going to the hospital to pick up Cherry, the sheriff had to follow him with the only remaining officers. Unbeknownst to him, the hospital was even more dangerous. By the time they arrived, the hospital was already in chaos. Ray got out of the car and immediately rushed in. He took two knives and hacked his way through the front door of the hospital to Cherry's hospital room. Cherry was safe and sound but extremely depressed because she had lost her leg. No matter how much Ray tried to persuade her, Cherry refused to leave. After all, it was hard for her to accept the loss of both legs. Ray desperately had to remove a table leg and directly connect it to Cherry's leg.
Now you do. What do you think?
The prosthetic leg was just installed, so Cherry is very uncomfortable. But the good thing is that they managed to break out of the hospital. Then the group came to JT's barbecue led by the sheriff, but his enthusiastic brother did not come out to greet. The sheriff had a feeling that JT was probably in trouble and was ready to rush in with everyone. Before the action, he also deliberately stressed 3 principles. Do not accidentally injure yourself, and do not accidentally injure your teammates. And the most important point,
don't shoot me.
They cautiously rushed into the barbecue restaurant but found that JT was not seriously hurt. He also managed to kill the 2 zombies with his gun. But this is a place to stay for a short time, and they must find a safe place. For this reason, JT also revealed his long-held treasures, a custom Harley motorcycle and a limited edition convertible sports car. But just when everything was ready, the barbecue was attacked by walkers. Although the sheriff repeatedly stressed his principles, he was still mistakenly wounded by a foolish police officer. He had to tell the officers to give their guns to Ray and let him lead the way out. After all, the former Ray is the town's famous marksman, and Ray is not stingy, and he got the double gun the first time he showed a hand. Those in attendance were undoubtedly amazed at Ray's skills. With Ray's command, everyone came outside with weapons on their shoulders. The powerful firepower made the zombies flee in an instant, but soon, the zombies regrouped and swept in again. There is no way. Ray had to lead the survivors to evacuate early, but as the leader, he couldn't find his seat. Luckily, the woman had a motorcycle in her trunk. In the end, the group left the scene without any danger before the zombies caught up with them. The zombies that were everywhere on the road did not stop them from moving forward. They were about to leave the town, but many zombies blocked them at the bridge. The number of zombies was so large that they couldn't break through with their ammunition. When desperate, the opposite side suddenly sounded intense gunfire, and the zombies fell to the ground. It turned out to be soldiers from the experimental base. They did not mutate because of the continuous release of poison gas to achieve the effect of attacking poison with poison, but this method can only temporarily stop the virus but cannot completely eradicate. The leader of the colonel found that this group of people did not mutate, so they were all locked up, trying to use their antibodies to research antivirus serum. A soldier looked at Cherry in the cell and instantly came up with a bold idea.
She's got one leg.
Easier access.
The perverted soldier soon came to Cherry's cell, while spouting obscene words. He threatened Cherry with a gun and told her to start dancing for fun. A pervert looks perverted. When she couldn't stand it anymore, Cherry kicked the soldier to the ground with her legs. Another soldier was ready to help but was shot in the thigh with a tranquilizer gun by a nurse nearby. Meanwhile, Ray and the others didn't just sit there and wait for death. They took advantage of the guards' inattention to launch a counterattack at the same time. Ray took away the weapon, but JT was hit in the stomach. Ray had to give up his resistance, but just as the guard was about to grab his gun, he began to attack. Immediately afterward, Ray went to Cherry's cell and gave Cherry's prosthetic leg an upgrade.
I do believe in you. Always have. I believe that you could be better. You deserve better.
Just see Cherry lift his leg and blast open the door. Then she stepped forward and started shooting with her legs. Several soldiers were instantly eliminated. After giving weapons to all the survivors, Ray led Cherry out of the base. All Ray had to do was a nice drift, and Cherry was left to do the rest. The survivors followed, but there were too many guards at the base, and it wasn't easy to get out. The key moment was Cherry's performance. Under Ray's crazy praise, Cherry gradually lost herself. She rushed out against the intense gunfire. Her steps took on a kingly air as the howitzer exploded under her feet. Cherry rose in the air with great momentum and shot a howitzer into the air. After she landed, she didn't panic at all. A Thomas 360-degree roundhouse strafing. Countless soldiers have fallen to the ground. The other soldiers rushed to follow Cherry, and Cherry started to show off her skills again in the face of the soldiers' heavy machine gun fire. She fired a howitzer with a perfect leg lift and easily finished the enemy. Then she dodged the rocket with a perfect gymnastic move. But even the strongest of the strongest have a moment of laxity, and a zombie tried to sneak in when she wasn't paying attention. Luckily, Ray appeared in time and killed the zombie, but other soldiers also shot him. Cherry's laxity cost Ray his life, but even with all the reluctance, the escape plane was already over her head. She had to leave Ray behind and leave in tears. At the movie's end, the survivors live on an island away from the zombies, and Cherry gave birth to Ray's baby. Remember to subscribe to my channel, and we will see you next time.